In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Koska Reeves for the Black Series 6-inch line, another action figure that's been overdue for quite some time. I did review the Vintage Collection action figure of her early on in my channel's history. It was probably within the first 40 videos or so, and she was towards the very beginning when I decided to go all in with doing a lot of these reviews. So I would recommend going back to the very beginning of my channel's history and checking out that video. So this action figure is mostly a retool of the Bo-Katan that I reviewed previously. There are some slight differences. Obviously, it will have a new head, and of course it's a little bit different paint job. And then it's a slight retool of her belt here because she's only supposed to have one holster and one pistol instead of two. But for whatever reason, Hasbro did give her two pistols, or two Mandalorian pistols in this release. Which is okay. It's always nice to have extra accessories, or more than not enough. But of course, that's not totally accurate to her character in the show. So let's just go ahead and take a closer look at her. I did find this action figure at Walmart in November of 2021. It's one of those action figures where if I found her, I would get her, but I wasn't going to be jumping through hoops probably to get this. Move this over here instead. So I have to admit, I haven't seen enough of the Mandalorian to really know a whole lot about her character. I just thought she looked good besides Bo-Katan, and that's pretty much my sole reasoning for getting the action figures of her. There is a Hot Toys figure of her. I don't think I'll be getting that one. I have to be kind of selective about which Hot Toys figures you get, but it does look very nice regardless. So as you can see, she has pretty much a solid paint job all the way around on her helmet, and then she has a lot of scuffs and scrapes in the front there. The unique visor that's particular to women Mandalorians. She does have the movable rangefinder there as well, which is very nice. And of course the removable helmet. It has a very nice head sculpt and paint job. Tell she has a very stern expression. I think the actress who plays as her though is Sasha Banks. Very nice hair sculpt as well. They really captured the details nicely. And she does have a little bit of a ponytail there with the braid. And I assume this is supposed to be part of her hair in the front here. Interesting pattern. They did a nice job on the eyes, and all the features on her are very well defined. And for the rest of her armor here, it's pretty standard. She does have a lot of weathering and scuffs and scrapes in the front of her breastplate there. Then the Clan Kreese symbol on the side here. I assume that's what it is. The jetpack back here, which is the same exact one that comes with Bo-Katan. The main difference is probably the paint job. Oh, there might be a little bit of a difference actually. No, it's the same. I was thinking that this wire on the left-hand side here may have been a little unique. For her belt here, it has all the pouches all the way around. Then of course the one holster instead of the two, and the extra pistol does fit well inside the holster. There's a little bit of a tight fit in there. Let's see. Yeah. Sometimes when it's been sitting in there for a while, it's kind of difficult to take out. And of course, she has the knee armor and the shin armor here, which does have some weathering on that as well. And then the armor on the side, on both sides. The articulation is exactly the same as Bo-Katan, who I reviewed previously. If you haven't seen that video yet, I would recommend checking that out. So of course she is super articulated all around. And then in terms of accessories, it's very basic. If you count the helmet, that's an accessory. The jetpack, that is removable. And then the two Mandalorian pistols, which are just entirely cast in gray here, and then with the brown pistol grip there. She does hold them well in both hands. Even though I don't know a lot about her character, I do know enough that she only carries the one pistol though. Still, it is nice to have her dual wield. It wouldn't be unreasonable to assume she might would do that every now and then. And let's bring out her TVC counterpart real quick. It's been a while since I really showed off this action figure. And you can see there are some differences between the two. Obviously the weathering and the scratched paint and things like that on the armor is a little bit different. Same on the helmet. We'll compare the helmets here in a minute. The facial expression's a little bit different. While the Black Series one's a little more stern, the TVC one has a little bit more of a surprised look. I think the Black Series head sculpt is definitely much better. Other than that, everything else is pretty similar. There's less differences between these two action figures I can see versus the two Bo-Katans in both scales. And let's see how these helmets look. Yeah, other than the weathering, they're pretty close. Although I think the blue on the TVC figure is a little bit darker. Pretty similar still. And of course the TVC figure just has the one Mandalorian pistol instead. But I think that's pretty much all I can tell you about Koska Reeves here. Let's go ahead and bring out the respective counterparts. And all four of these figures look really good together. Very happy they're a part of my collection. So would I recommend the Black Series Koska Reeves for your collection? I would if you're a fan of Mandalorians and you want to add more, or if you're a fan of the character. And if you do have Bo-Katan, I would suggest getting her as well. Seems like they're a duo in a way. There is the Axe Wolves, but I don't have that action figure. And there is one for both TBC and Black Series. The TBC one was kind of a letdown, so I didn't get him in that scale. And the Black Series one I just happened to never really find in retail, so I just never got around to getting one. But perhaps I would at some point. We're in that crouching position there. But I'm happy she's part of my collection. She's one of my favorite Mandalorians in terms of design, and she looks really good side by side with Bo-Katan. And I'm happy she's been part of my collection for the last almost 3 years now. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.